set this up. Dankeschön, darling. Hello everybody. So I am faceting a piece of synthetic spinel into a standard round brilliant. I am trying to get better and better each day at faceting and making what I hope to be a fairly beautiful piece that is almost perfect with a standard round brilliant, and then I'll start moving to other designs, or at least live stream it. So I do have another project I'm working on and we'll be making a video on, and that's with a pretty cool piece of synthetic rough, or not synthetic rough, but man-made rough, and I'm hoping I'll be able to get to that fairly soon. I'm actually gonna lift this up a little bit. See if that's better. I wanna lift it up. There we go. I'm hoping that gives y'all a view while it gives me a view of everything. But yeah, so like I said, I do have some plans in the future, and one of them is ancient Roman glass. I'm really kind of excited to cut that ancient Roman glass, just because it's from Mount Carmel in Israel about 2,000 years ago, and as a Christian, just being close to something that was even relatively close to Jesus at that point in time is pretty exciting for me. So I'm hoping that ends up being a pretty fun experience for me. My wife did pick out a fairly hard design, and it's a frosted design. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I've never done frosting before when it comes to this kind of stuff. I've also picked up a few more knives to cut. I've also picked up a few more knives to make some gemstone handles for. So my hope with that is that we will, when it warms up again, Lord knows whenever that'll be, but when it warms up again, we'll be able to start. Hey, Dynamite, and then Paper Beach Rock, Rock, Scissors. Chuck Norris. I like that. I like that. Chuck Norris does indeed pick them all at the same time. Yeah, I like that, man. I appreciate that. It's a good joke. If I sound a little tired, it's because me and my wife have a newborn, and he's been home for about a week now. So it's our first child, so we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. But this is the first real time I've actually got to sit and facet too, pretty much since we've left for the hospital. Chuck Norris tears cured cancer. Too bad he's never cried. That is true. That is true. Too bad he has never cried. That man. What is my favorite joke? Chuck Norris joke. It's the one where the snake bites Chuck Norris. I'm sure you could tell it better in the chat. I'm not a good joke teller. I'm not a good joke teller at all. But yeah, all the jokes you want to tell in the chat, be more than happy to, because it's a good way to keep my spirits up right now. Hey, Harmony. When Chuck Norris looks in a mirror, the mirror shatters, because not even glass is dumb enough to get in between Chuck Norris and Chuck Norris. That's actually pretty cool too. I like that one. I ain't never heard that one before either. I ain't never heard that one before. Oh man. What we're doing today is we're cutting a standard round brilliant out of some synthetic spinel, and I'm just doing a lot of practicing before I go cutting some more of the precious ones. Chuck Norris used to beat up his shadow because it was following too close. It now stands 15 feet behind him. I don't know why, but I'm loving these Chuck Norris jokes. That is awesome. Oh man. But yeah, we're cutting some standard round brilliant so I can just practice, and also it's just a way for me to kind of decompress. And most people have 23 pairs of chromosomes. Chuck Norris has 72, and they're all lethal. Okay. Might be a little over my head. Yeah, if y'all got any jokes, tell them in chat. I love hearing them. Plus it gives me, Chuck Norris destroyed pediatric table because Chuck Norris only destroyed the periodic table because Chuck Norris only it's an element of surprise. Are you looking these up? Because these are some I've never heard of. For real. Dude, you gotta be looking these up. There ain't no way you got all these off the top of the dome. You have a list. Chuck Norris doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. Golly. Oh my God. That was the best one. That was the best one. Oh my God. That one actually brought tears to my eyes. That was pretty good. And Chuck Norris likes his meat so rare. So rare, he only eats unicorns. A good one, but I got to say, the staring down the booked one, best one so far. I don't know if you can top that one, to be honest. I don't know if you can top that one. I don't know why that was so funny to me. He just stares down the book and gets the information. We will see. Chuck Norris doesn't fill out online forms because he doesn't submit. I like that one too. That's out of all of them so far, maybe that's top three. Top three. So, but I actually did get some ancient Roman glass, and I'll show you here in a minute what it looks like. But it's, like I said, it's from the time of Jesus Christ when he walked the earth. And yeah, I'm gonna facet it and do something cool with it and give it to my wife. So I don't know if y'all can see it or not. But that's it right there. It's about 2,000 years old. I'm gonna cut it and probably have a friend of mine set it into a cross. Alright, Chuck Norris started in Star Wars. He was the Force. Alright. Top five. That one's top five. I won't say. The information in the book one still got it, though. The information in the book one still got it. Oh, and we do have some upgraded internet coming in soon. So they've been putting in the cables down our dirt road and stuff. Chuck Norris doesn't wear a watch. He simply decides what time it is. You know, that's I believe that's more factual than it is funny. That's just like a, you know, an ipso facto thing instead of a funny thing. How many times a day does Vin Diesel eat? Twice. Breakfast and breakfast. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Switching it up. I like it. Switching it up. That was a pretty good switch too, I ain't gonna lie. That was a pretty good switch. Breakfast and breakers. So I'm faceting a standard round brilliant out of some synthetic spinal, while Varen here gives us some great jokes. There is no theory of evolution, just a list of animals Chuck Norris allows to live. I like that one too. Ooh, what is that bump? That's got to bump something. That's got to bump something. You know what? It takes a solid 3 spot. That takes the 3 spot. But yeah, we're cutting some synthetic spinel, and I wish I had some finished pieces in front of me of some gemstone. But so like mainly right now I'm just practicing to cut like amethysts and emeralds and stuff like that for jewelry. But I do want to in the future cut some D&D dye out of gemstones, and we actually have some fluorescent. It's nanostodal, so it's man-made, but it's actually pretty cool. So there's one called kryptonite. It's a green, but whenever you shine a UV light on it, it turns pink, which is kind of cool. And then there's another one that's a blue, a dark blue, and whenever you shine a light on it, it turns like this really light blue, which is kind of cool too. So I'm looking to do some D&D dye out of that as well. Oh, what do you call it? Alligator wearing a vest? An investigator. I like that one. I've heard that one before. I can't remember where, but I like that one. That one's. I love puns. I love puns. I know it's supposed to be the lowest form of comedy, but I mean, screw it, man. It's funny. I don't care. I found a lion in my closet yesterday. I asked him what he was doing. He said, Narnia business. God, that works so well. I don't know where he's coming up with these jokes. I feel like he's looking online and getting them, to be honest. But even if that's the case, bravo. You know what I mean? Bravo. Keep it coming. I got a new non-stick pan yesterday. Today I tested it by putting a stick in it. Oh, did you get like I got a dad joke book as well. My wife gave it to me. Is it like a yellow dad joke book? And it's like 100 best dad jokes or something like that. I love dad jokes. I love puns. They're so fun. Plus, I mean, shoot, man, it's the beginning of the year. Why not hear some funny jokes? So my father said I wasn't funny, and for 10 years he promised to buy me a joke book. Joke's on me, he never did. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is my dad, he always used to be like, oh, you're not funny. You're not funny. Anytime I'd be around people, he'd be like, you're not funny, shut up. So, it's probably why I don't really talk that much. Like I would like to. So having somebody in here that's breaking the ice and telling jokes is actually pretty fun for me. So one year I brought him a book. Joke was on me again. He never read it. So occasionally I borrowed a book. Plus some stuff I find online. Okay, cool, man. I like that. Dude, anytime you're around, you want to tell some jokes. You welcome here, man. You welcome. Chuck Norris doesn't actually write books. The words assemble themselves out of fear. I love that too, man. That is awesome. Top 10, not top 5. I got to say the one where the books just hand over the information to him. Top, just one. I don't know if you're gonna beat it. I don't know if you'll beat it, man. That's a tough one. That's like a really tough one to beat. Like extremely tough. We're getting close. And if you can see here, but you may not be able to, it's like, it almost is cattywampus down, which is like, cattywampus is just another way of saying slanted or off center down. So we may have to cut all the way around, come back and cut closer. Chuck Norris cuts through a hot knife with butter. Hot night with butter. I like it. Chuck Norris cuts through a hot night with butter. I like it. Where'd I put that one? I gotta have chat's help on that. It's not top 1, but it could take any spot after that. I gotta have chat's help with that. For a set of D&D dice, it just depends on the gemstones and stuff like that. If it's some cheap stuff or some cheap man-made stuff, it won't be much. It won't be much. I mean, but everything depends on the gemstone. You know what I mean? And that's just so, because everything's cost differently. You know what I mean? And I don't deal with low quality stuff either, or at least I try not to. Obsidian? I don't know. I haven't priced out any obsidian for faceting. I'll tell you what, subscribe to me, and then what we'll do is, next live stream we'll do, I'll have the facts written out for you, so I could just look at it and go, this is how much a set of D&D dice for obsidian will cost you. Or if it's even possible with obsidian. I don't know. I'm sure it is. I mean, obsidian's volcanic glass. But yeah, shoot, man. I have no problem looking it up and working it out. But I promise you it won't. I mean, something like obsidian shouldn't be a lot. You know what I mean? Shouldn't be a lot at all. Alright, here we go. So now we got our depth set here, in which we're gonna have to go lower, but I have a feeling it's gonna be cattywampus all the way around. And then if that's the case, when we get back here, the very last facet before we start over again is gonna sit higher or lower than our previous facet, right? So our original one. So if that's the case, it's cattywampus. I know some people, if it's like barely noticeable to the human eye, they'll but we got the glasses, so we have no excuse. And I'm doing all this off camera like a dummy. So it's gonna, one little facet's gonna sit higher than the other one. But we're gonna try to go around it and see if that's the case. Yeah, man. If you could post a short or a video, I'd probably catch that a little bit easier. Yeah, no problem, dude. No problem at all. Yeah. What I can do is I can come up with some like bare bones prices and stuff, and I can throw some other ideas out there. What I may also do is I may cut the D&D dice first to practice, and then if it's something you like, I can just you know, post it as a video, short. And if you follow me, or if you subscribe to me, I might be able to tag you in it. And if I can tag you in it, you'll see better. What did the birds attack the dogs? He was a purebred. Okay, I like that. Okay, why did the birds attack the dogs? He was a purebred. I like that. That's what's up. I like those kind of jokes. Yeah, if anybody's got puns, I know it's the lowest form of comedy, but anybody's got some puns or some jokes like that, you know, don't be afraid to share them. What's going on here? So, what we're doing now is this thing called meat point faceting. And meat points, you probably can't see it right now, but there's little like sections, little facets, right? Let's see if I got a diagram around here I can show you. So, I don't want to be friends with Dracula. I don't want to be friends with Dracula anymore. He's such a pain in the neck. Well, and then the question too, do you do more than just gems? Not right now. I kind of like what I'm doing with the gems, but like I'll do gemstone handled knives, and I'm working on pistol grips and stuff like that, and just kind of a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? But if you see this here, you see where these two lines meet? That's how a faceting diagram is supposed to meet, right? So this is actually called meat points. And when you're doing meat point faceting, you're actually faceting to get those lines to meet up exactly. And that's what we're trying to do right now. And it can be tough. For some reason, this feels like it's off. I know that sounds weird, but it feels like it's off. I'm gonna put this back down, because whenever it hits a certain angle, it should just stop. But for some reason, it has stopped right in the middle of the facet, which it should not be doing that. You know what I mean? So this is where I have to actually like stop everything and look at it. Which makes me wonder if something's off. Usually it just means you gotta move that little cheater over a little bit. But your cheater is this dial right here, and it moves it left to right. So my dad's friend has been getting me into old school AD&D, and I was kind of curious on maybe ordering some custom stuff. I prefer avoiding mass market merchandise. Well, thank you, man. Yeah, I'll definitely, yeah, shoot, man. I'll get something. I'll work on some stuff. It may be a little bit because of the baby and him only being the week old, but yeah, I don't mind doing that. And me and a group of my friends and my wife, we played D&D, and we actually got a game this Saturday. But we play D&D as well. We play 5e, but I kind of do it by the seat of my pants kind of thing. I don't like, we're not really like so much playing by the traditional rules either, because while I got them here, I just want to have fun and not worry about, well, this doesn't do. Screw that. What do you want to do? Because I'm going to adjust their encounters around that. You know what I mean? I'm going to adjust the gameplay to them. So now we have the meat point better here. So hopefully that holds up. But yeah, I'll start working on some and see what that does. Now, I always do the first set of everything for my wife, so I'll probably cut her a D20 at least, because I've never cut D&D dives before, but I want to. But yeah, I'll tag you in the video, see what you think. Can be trickier. You know what? I believe that. I believe that. I like. So with our group, we have people who like different things, right? Some people like combat. Some people like the role playing. So I try to mix a generous bit of both in there. The campaign we're playing right now is kind of like a American folklore campaign. So what's happening is they're in this world to where things like the skinwalker and stuff exist, and but they're actually working for different kingdoms to do different things. And I don't want to say too much because my wife does listen, but they'll encounter things like vampires in this game, and I'm taking stats from different monsters and I'm giving it to the different entities, you know what I'm saying? And we're just trying to work it out like that. But I think they've played like 3 or 4 sessions already, and they've already lost people. they've lost. They've gotten the warden killed, which is the warden was like their mentor, kind of, and crazy enough thing is that the warden's nephew in the game, as an NPC, was actually there. And when you know you have a good character is when the NPCs actually have you looked into the Curse of Stride? No. No, is that a book? Is that a D&D book? If so, I'll take a look at it. But yeah, so his nephew was there, and he kind of watched the warden pass away, and whenever everybody kind of stops playing the game for a few minutes and just kind of stops and doesn't talk, and they're legitimately asking this NPC, this nephew, questions like, "Are you okay? Are you gonna be all right?" Vampires and zombies sounds similar to curses. Oh, it might be. It might be. I don't know. Like I've never really played out the book. I've never really played out any books or anything like pre-mates. So it might be something to do. And I'll be honest with you. I have like a general plot and a general setting when I play as a dungeon master. But other than having an encounter set up, side quest set up, things like that, I actually just make the world around the characters as they're playing. Other than having some, obviously plots and things like that for them. But I don't want to guide them too much because I feel like that takes the fun away from it. Look up Ravenloft. It's a realm that cursed. Okay. Shoot, yeah, man. I'll look it up. Yeah. I actually like that. I like that idea. Okay. I know my wife's watching. Darling, could you write that down? Ravenloft and Curse of Stride. You can always borrow the stuff from Ravenloft and add towards your game. Yeah, dude. No, I appreciate it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. I actually like that, man. I appreciate that. Anything to make the game better for the players is fun. And I don't know about y'all, but I kind of like being the forever DM. Not for anything other than I don't like. when you're playing a DM and you got the monsters stuff right in front of you and you got everything like that written down, it just, to me, it's more organized than being the player. You can always, okay, yeah, man, I appreciate it. And that's something that I've kind of liked about being the DM. I played as a character a few times, and while fun, it just doesn't compare to being DM. You know. And I would recommend, if anybody gets a chance to be DM, it's if you find the right group of people to play with, it's not as bad. Ravenloft is a 5e book. Okay. Yeah, my wife's gonna write that down so we know. Oh, and well, I got everybody in here. Like, subscribe, share, do all that cool stuff. I appreciate you. But what I may do, what would be cool? What I may do is I may actually make like a dice set to give away on the channel. Actually, I wish I knew how to put up a poll in here. But if there's a way I could put up a poll, maybe I could do a dice set to give away on the channel too. Obviously, cutting your obsidian, like I'm not gonna, but also doing like a dice set to give away might be cool too. Just to kind of, I don't know, just kind of give back. You know what I mean? Let's do a raffle. Yeah. I mean, we've done one for knives, so I don't know why we couldn't do one for some dice sets. I mean, it sounds good to me. But who knows? Maybe if I get some people that are happy enough to do it, maybe we might even live stream us doing a session or two of my campaign. And I do have another campaign that I have planned for in the future. It's just so a buddy of mine from the Marine Corps, him, his wife, and me and my wife play, and I'm the DM obviously. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to start them off as children of adventurers. So what they would do is they would go to this school, right? And they would be with other adventuring kids, right? In this school, and they're learning what class they want to be, what this, that, and the other. But the whole campaign's set around it. I won't give away too much because, again, my wife listens. But like thugs go to the school, and if they want to be thugs like their parents, they learn how to be thugs. You know what I mean? You know, or rogues go to the school if they want to learn how to be rogues, so forth and so on. But they actually, hey, pen and blades, hey, really, no, like 5 or 6, Baron, 5 or 6. Hey, pen and pen blades. If people don't know about pen and pen blades, really good guy. We've been friends for a while now on YouTube, and he does reviews on pens and knives and stuff like that. Really cool guy. So yeah, be sure to give him a shout out. Go check him out. But yeah, so like 5 or 6, kind of like just getting into kindergarten, first grade kind of thing. And but they'll actually go to other schools and do jousting competitions, almost like how football teams go to different schools and play each other and stuff like that. I just thought it'd be a pretty cool concept, and then whenever that campaign is done, it switches to them as they grow up, so they actually played their backstory. You know what I mean? So it's not just oh, my backstory is this. You've lived that backstory. So when you get into the further campaign when they're adults, you really don't do things stupidly that may risk them getting hurt or getting them killed, because you're invested in them so much. I'm just hoping it goes out like that. Who knows? They could be sick of their characters by the time that happens, but I'm just hoping it's like that. Reminds me of a show I saw. People appeared in a D&D type world without their memories, and they had enough money to pay a mentor to teach them the basics of a class. They had to use said skill to survive and develop their skills. Kinda, yeah. And in this world, again, I can't give away too much, but in this world, a lot of times the heroes' children tend to follow in their footsteps, and the villains' children tend to follow in their footsteps. But it's almost like it's, to the heroes and villains, it's almost like a 9 to 5. So it's almost normalized in this world that, hey, I'm a bad guy and I'm going to do bad guy things, and the heroes are like, I'm a good guy and I'm going to do good guy things. And then, yeah. So it's kind of like that, yeah. I just figured it would get them into the world without them being willing to kind of kill their character off so easily. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if that's the case, great. If it's not, well, it's not. But you would hope it's the case. It was an anime. The strongest people banded together. The main group of the show were the weaker people, and you see their struggle to grow. Their path is too easy, however. It was a good show. Okay. What was it called again? I don't really watch anime, but my wife loves anime. I'm more of like a history documentary kind of guy. Which is funny enough, our newborn is definitely a history documentary kind of little feller, because he will cry and throw a fit until we put on like some Kings and Generals documentary or anything like that on. Yeah, if you can get the name of it, I know my wife will definitely watch it. She loves anime. So, I tried to get into some anime. The one I did watch that I thought was kind of funny and kind of cool. They went into like this medieval world, but they had like modern stuff. So like helicopters and guns and stuff like that, and they were fighting goblins and mythical medieval creatures. Grimgar, Ashes and Illusions. There you go, Laura. If you're listening, Grimgar, Ashes and Illusions. And for anybody else that's wondering, it's right there. That's awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Who knows? If it's good and she says it's good, I might sit down and watch it. I also like Cowboy Bebop, like the old cartoon Cowboy Bebop. I like that. I know some people wanted me to try to get into One Piece as well, but I've watched a little bit of it. I don't think it's for me necessarily. Not as bad. I just don't think it's for me. You should also watch Goblin Slayer. That's also D&D. It's a bit gruesome, however. One Piece is way too long. I watched an episode and I was like, this don't seem like my kind of bag. Now, define gruesome. Is it like people getting ripped apart, kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre style of gruesome, or is it like Jason Voorhees kind of gruesome? You know what I mean? sometimes Oh, is that the one I heard people talk about like a few years ago? Oh, okay. Well, I might avoid that one then. I might avoid that one. Oh, that sucks. And they like, then you had this guy who wants to eradicate all goblins. Okay. Does he end up doing it, or is it just one of those things he wants to and then for some reason he fails, or does somebody else pick up the mantle if he dies or something? Laura, if you're listening and you're not busy with the baby, could you actually bring me one of my knives that I did and one of my faceted gemstones, please, darling, and show them off to people? But the gruesome bits are intense, however, the show is good. He inspires others to fight with him. People don't take the goblins as a serious threat, and many locals appreciate how serious he takes his role. Why do not many people take the goblins as a serious threat if they're doing that to people? Is it just one of those things like it's just in the show that like they have to have it for the plot to progress, or did they have like a really good reason for them not to, for everybody else to not take them seriously? I hope I'm making sense. Amethyst, please. Have you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender? Just finished the first season, and it's pretty good. Maybe a little kiddie, but still good writing and characters. I know somebody used to watch it, but I never watched it. No. Adventures. Think the goblins as weak enemies. Everyone wants to slay trolls and dragons. The goblins are not a threat like demons. Okay. And ogres. However, if left alone, they overwhelm towns. Avatar: The Last Airbender is good. So now I haven't watched Avatar, and I'll just show you right here. This is one of the knives I did. Pretty cool little thing here. This is Kaleidoscope Jasper. Thank you so much. This is Kaleidoscope Jasper. Not one of the best ones I've done. It doesn't show a ton of color, but pretty cool. And then, well, thank you, Pen. And then that is one of my faceted amethysts. This is Uruguayan amethyst. Yeah, I understood what you said. No, I understood what you were saying, Baron. Thank you so much, buddy. Let me see if I can get it out and get a little better look at it. I hope that does it for you. If not, I apologize. But no, like a real stone. Please. I think a lot of them are in that case. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, I try to look, a lot of people get burnt out with gemstones because they're just trying to cut standard stuff, right? Because, I mean, obviously, it takes money to cut a gemstone, you know. Just to get the rough, it can be pretty expensive. So, they tend to be, you know, hey, I need to making wands. I'm sure some people would buy them. No, but I have thought about doing this. Check this out. All right, this is I'm talking about some grandiose plans in the future. Like I'm gonna have to buy thousands of dollars worth of equipment to be able to pull some of this stuff off. But I do have some plans, right? One of them is I know somebody who does that electric burning into wood. I want to get a rifle stock, right? And then electric burn the rifle stock, and then take synthetic opals, because real opals you can't crush up and get that color out of them, right? I mean, it's just, those are synthetics, right? And what I want to do is I want to get some synthetic opals and inlay them into the rifle stock. It's almost like it's powering up, and then towards the muzzle, right, of the wood stock where it makes the muzzle, I want it to like have like a reddish fiery look to it. So, you know, it's just a kind of cool look. And then I want to get a Templar sword as well, and I want to get one of those CNC machines or whatever they call them, and engrave into like the Templar Claymore sword like a scene from the Crusades or something, you know, like the siege of Antioch, you know what I mean? And then like inlay some really cool synthetic opals into that, so it's kind of all there into the sword and it looked cool. That's like some grandiose plans. One that I think I may be able to get to sometime soon if things kick off with the channel is, so I was in the 2nd Marine Division, and during World War II, the 2nd Marine Division took the island of Tarawa. And the Japanese general there said it would take, what was it, 1 million men in 100 years to take the island. And they took it in, I want to say like 4 days with 2,500 casualties. Now, casualties include wounded and stuff like that too. But I wanted to get a 1911, put mother of pearl pistol grips on it, and then get it engraved, you know. And then I don't know what I'm going to have on it, you know, on there. But I want to donate it to the 2nd Marine Division. A purely cosmetic rifle for a Monster Hunter outfit. It was kind of like a musket and had gems where the powder would go, plus some carved runes. Yeah, kind of like that. And thank you so much, Pen and Pen Blades, man. Pen and Pen Blades is always, he's always been there with me, man. So I appreciate you. You know that. I appreciate you. Well, thank you so much, Varen. I mean, these are all goals, right? These are all dreams of mine, right? Goals. And a lot of people do lapidary. So what this is called is lapidary. A lot of people do lapidary as tutorials, right? And while I do want this to be able to put out and share knowledge and stuff like that, I don't want to just share knowledge. Like, I want to do some cool stuff and see if we can do it. And if I can, then you're here with me as I do it. You know what I mean? We're doing this together. We're figuring this out. And hopefully I inspire some other people to get into it, because this is a dying art. I've done custom inlay rings with obviously gemstones, but I've soldered and done some silver work here and there. My wife's usually the one that does all that. You know. Did you get a knife? Did Oh, there they are. Okay, that's why she couldn't find them. That's okay. I figured it was like somewhere crazy that I didn't, you know.
He sensed it because he woke up when I was finished.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of. I mean, we're working on that now. So like some of these, after I'm done fasting, we'll go into rings and stuff like that. I'll show you this one, and I'll show you. You know, I just lay it down right there. I'll show them all up. This is a knife that I did. So this is sodalite, mookaite, and howlite, and I cut them each individually and polished them up and everything like that, and did an American flag knife. But yeah, like sapphires and stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's some plans in the future for sure. I just got to get them. You know. Everything's so expensive. Unless you're going to buy low quality stuff or fake stuff, which there's plenty of that out there, you're not going to get nothing for cheap. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of sucks. That's an amethyst one. Because, you know, a lot of people's perceptions on gemstones are they see this mass-produced stuff and they think, well, you know, this is cheap. It's not. And especially when you make it yourself, it's definitely not cheap. I mean, the serious looking rings, yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I have plans for it. And I actually have a friend called, his name is Jacob the Jeweler. That's his store. And he's going to work with me and my wife. So the business is actually hers. I just like to cut gemstones. But he's going to help us he's actually going to make the rings and set them in there and stuff like that. So like some really good high class. Not really, to be honest. I've never really done that, and I'll tell you this why. I get scared to death when somebody hands over something for me to repair, because I mean, it's something that's somebody else's, right? So you definitely don't want to break it or anything like that. So I usually just make my own stuff and then put it up there. This one right here, this is a man-made stone. This is called Fordite, which is layers of vehicle paint that builds up on the manufacturing floor and equipment. Every 30 or 90 days, they break it off and they'll sell the lapidary. But this is some Fordite, pretty cool stuff. I did a knife handle out of that as well. You probably can't see it because of the light, but maybe you can see a little better that way. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to do some real cool stuff with some. Again, I ain't got a lot here because a lot of people like to kind of snatch up some stuff whenever I'm done with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's like a little amethyst, or Uruguayan amethyst. It's actually a pretty valuable piece of amethyst. Coralon? It reminds you of Coralon. Huh. You remind me of my brother. He doesn't do YouTube, however, he works with leather, and he prefers to make his own stuff rather than work on existing stuff. Yeah, it's just, I don't want to say it's easier because it's not, but it's more fun that way. When I do this and I'm going to stress myself out over it, it's not worth doing no more. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to have fun and do it. I don't need to stress myself out over something like this, because then it'll not be fun anymore. It won't be a passion to do it. I won't have that drive to do something cool in the future. You know what I mean? Now, if you tell me, hey, look, I'd like you to do this. Okay, cool. Just wait. I'll get the stuff to do it, and I'll do it, and, you know, there you go. But if I'm using somebody else's stuff, no, I'm not big into that. And it's just because I take other people's property so seriously, you know what I mean? Like, just to think about possibly messing somebody else's stuff up makes me nervous and just weary. He is still learning. He's only been doing it for a year or two. He seems to be having fun with it. However, like with gems, cutting a lot of expensive naturals and tools. You know, it's actually funny. Before I started doing gemstone cutting, I worked with some leather every now and then. I would do some tooling and stuff like that with it. And basically my back's just so bad it keeps giving out on me. And this, I find that I don't have to bend so far with this or like hunch over a table with it. I can kind of sit back and keep my back straight and just, you know what I mean? It's just easier this way. But I've also found it to be more fun. Not that leatherworking isn't fun. It's actually pretty fun. But I had trouble with the dyes too. Like I wanted to blend in dyes together and have them like shade into each other. And I know Tandy Leather sold, what did they sell? Aegis? It's been so long now. And I tried some of that, and it just, I don't like the way acrylics look on leather. I like the way dyes look on leather because it's, you know, the acrylics just overshadow the leather, which is lame. So, yeah, I kind of grew apart from it. But I know a bunch of veterans that do it too. A lot of veterans seem to love doing it. So, but yeah, I gave all my leather stuff over to a buddy of mine that works with the he works with the fire department over in the town over. Now, you know what I mean. A friend of mine in the knife community, who has sadly passed, made a multicolored leather slip for me. I'll send you a pic of one. Oh, sweet man. And I'm sorry he passed away. Hopefully he was saved. Hopefully he was saved and he's in heaven enjoying a great reward. But look at that. It's already starting to come around now. And I think it may not end up being even. And then this is where we're going to have to kind of walk it in with the cheater. I know it's hard to see. I got to get different camera angles. Like, I mean, my cousin and I have talked about this, and we're going to get some, like, mounting arms and mount them up so we can get a top-down view of everything and all that. It's just, money's an issue right now. Especially with a newborn. Just money's an issue. But once we get to that point, then we'll get it all situated and sorted out. But I am sorry about your friend, Finn. Is it anybody I knew? Because I've been away from the community for a little bit. I hope not. Like I haven't heard from Watch City Knives in a while. So I hope he's alright. It was Randy WSG. Randy's WSG. I'll have to look on the account. If so, I never really communicated with him all that well. Well, I'm sorry to hear that he's passed away. I hope he's, like I said, I hope he's saved and he's in he's enjoying the great reward he's got coming to him. You know, good Lord's blessed him. Hopefully. What you need to do is find something you can make easy that sells well. They use the profit to experiment with other materials. However, I'm sure you know better than I. You know what? I do not know how to sell at all. I'll be honest with you. I am not a salesman. Okay? So your advice is probably better than what any advice I can give anybody. You know what I mean? I am not a salesman. I like to talk to people. I like to hang out with people, but I'm not a good salesman. I hate bragging on what I do. That's why I like to do live streams, so I can kind of show people what I do and let it talk for itself. Okay, Watch City's doing fine. Good. But I don't like bragging on myself. I don't like, at least about stuff like this. It just feels weird to me. I know I'm good. It's not the issue. I know I'm good. I know what I do is good work. People tell me all the time. It's just one of those weird things. Whenever I do it, I feel scummy and sleazy. Feel dirty. If that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you, Pen and Pen Blades. Yeah, and it's not, trust me, it's not anything, like I understand people who are salesmen and they can do it. Like I understand, shoot, it's an art, it's a craft, you know, but to me it just kind of doesn't come natural, I guess. So, and I've had people, you know, I don't know. I've had people brag on me and stuff like that. It's just I can't do it. Makes me feel uncomfortable and weird. But I tell you what, if y'all find somebody who needs something and you point them towards our website, I would appreciate it. See, now, this is weird. This is weird. Because we got things lining up, but not lining up at the same time. You know what I mean? That's so strange. If anybody's putting... people claim my drawings are professional quality. I disagree. I can relate how you feel. My drawings look pretty good, however. I don't feel like they're good. They are as good as becoming an artist, I think you meant to say. I tell you what, if you can draw better than a stick figure, you can draw better than me. You know, I think that's the problem with... Again, I'm going to sound pretentious. I hope I don't sound pretentious. I know it's probably going to come off as that. But I think that's the problem with people who do it in our kind of mindset. Do whatever they do. Right? Is that you're never good enough. There's always going to be some minute mistake. For me, that's what drives me on to keep doing things. is because there's always a mistake, and I go, I can do better next time. I appreciate that challenge. I think people call you an artist. Sometimes people call me an artist. I'm not. But I think what people appreciate about other people's art is that they obsess with it. And they're constantly putting in tons of effort and things like that. I think that's why, while AI art is getting really good, there's no effort behind it. There's no heart and soul behind what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with a lapidary. You want somebody to just slam it down and just go because they're just trying to mass produce as much as they can because machines can't really do this. So they're just taking people and they're just going, do whatever you can. It doesn't matter if the lines are straight or this, that, and the other, right? Or do you appreciate the person who obsesses over that one piece for 8 hours, you know, and they want to do the absolute best because it's almost like they put a little bit of their heart into it. That's kind of why I love lapidary. That's kind of why I love this, because even with every little piece I do here, I'm putting in some kind of like little piece of me into it. I hate when people don't put effort into what they're doing. So if you're like me when it comes to this, you guys, hey man, we may not be, it's the human element, absolutely. It's the human element. We need, like, dude, Vernon, hold on, I'm sorry, Varen, I'm gonna read what you said. I draw comic anime style. It's an oversaturated art style, so I've been hashing out a story concept. I prefer working on character designs. AI art in my eyes is good for random references. So I would actually like to see some of your AI, not your AI art, but your actual comic drawings. Do you have like an Insta or anything, or was it Insta or X or whatever it is? I'm not big into, like, I watch YouTube a lot, but that's about it. Yeah, if you got any examples, I'd love to see them. Put like your ad or something down there, and my wife can write it down, and we'll look it up on my phone. But yeah, we'll look it up. But yeah, I mean, it's that, look fellas, I'm being 100% honest with y'all. I'm not an artist. I'll never be an artist. And it's because some dude who throws a crap at a wall and they go, look, it's art. No, it's not. You've just thrown crap at the wall. You've done no effort. You've put really no thought into it. And you're just expecting other people to think for you. You're expecting other people to put their own meaning into it. When you look at the Sistine Chapel, you look at all that art, there's a meaning behind it. He had intention when he was doing it. He had a concept. He put his heart and mind into it, his soul into it. When you look at these great art pieces that people don't, what was it? It was the art that a Catholic priest did when Napoleon invaded Spain. But he was like drawing from his memory of the scenes that horrified him and painting from memory. Yeah. And he was actually putting it on. That's like art, and it's sad because it's somebody's memories. And it's almost like he's putting in a piece of his soul that was ripped out that day. And this is my interpretation of it. He's putting in some like really traumatic memories of these Napoleon's troops massacring people, killing them, and he's putting them on there as almost a way to cope with what he saw. Really, really crazy. I have to double check, however, I don't post there often. I don't know if it posted for me, buddy. Can you put it without the at? Maybe just like put the name and put some spaces in there, and then we'll, you know, figure it out. Because they may not allow it in the chat. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I have to look up what the pieces were called. But when you think about stuff like that, you're like, my God. And he's just putting it right there on the page for you. Well, it looks somewhat okay, but there's something wrong, and I can't tell with my eye what's wrong with it. I just, oh wait a minute. Yeah, it's right there. What is that one? Let's see, we got 75. Let's try to look at 75. See if I can't. Is 75 it? Touch it. 75's it. Maybe 81. Okay, I see the grandson. Okay, I get it. Laura, can you write that down, please, darling? Yeah, YouTube is weird about kind of things and links and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I guess they do it for bots and stuff, but he's not a bot, and I told him to, so you would think it wouldn't be so weird about it. But yeah, I mean, you see those people that put their heart and soul into something, and they have intention, they have a design behind it, they have everything behind it. But like you said, art's not chaos. Art's not chaos. There's an order to things. You know what I mean? And I think you're absolutely right. There should be an order to it. What was that one piece of art? Dude taped a banana to a wall, and somebody bought it for $1 million. When I see somebody do that, I just think they bought it for like some tax reason. You know what I mean? Like they bought it as a tax write. Some millionaire bought it as a tax write-off. You know what I mean? It's like nothing. It's meaningless. More than actually buying a piece of art. Beep boop. That art is nice. I gotta check it out. When we get done with the live stream, I'll go check it out. I like, and you sound like a younger fella, Varen, which is good too. Because if you're getting a start in early, that's good. It's good. You're 29, you've been drawing since you were 6. Wow. You started young. Ain't nothing wrong with that, though. I am 33, and I started lapidary. Not this form of lapidary, this is called faceting, but I actually started cabochon cutting and stuff like that when I was 30. I started after I got a spinal fusion. I was stuck in bed. I just took some sandpaper and water and just started grinding away at a stone when I was recovering because I was dying of boredom, and I wanted to do something nice for my wife who had just had some things go on, and you know, do something nice for her, and it's turned into this. Though I don't prefer realistic art. Look, it don't have to be realistic. It don't have to be realistic. That's the thing. It don't have to. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I like monster art. I like kind of like body horror art as well. So don't think of me as one of those people. Oh, it's got to be real. It don't have to be real, but it has to be real talent for me to appreciate it. You know, obviously you're not going to go to like a 2-year-old and go, your art sucks. It doesn't look like a plane. But, you know, somebody who's making a living off of it, you want it to look good. You know? Let's see. So I keep going back and forth. And I feel like I'm getting it. But I also feel like I'm not getting it. I've been trying to draw alternate art, however, again, I need to free my mind from the internet to reset my mind. It consumes my time and attention. So you get like, it almost like it influences your art style, the internet. Or does it influence your creativity, you think? Because I think both can be true. Very much so. I think both can be true. I've heard people say that they come up with some of their artistic ideas through dreams, too. They'll dream about something weird and wacky, and they'll just try to draw it from the best of their memory. Not saying that that's will work for you. I'm just saying that I've heard people say they do that. I'll be honest with you. I don't know a ton. Well, you know, I don't know a ton about how to do drawing or anything like that. Like I said, my stuff stops at stick figures. Hey, welcome, Carrie. How you doing, buddy? How you been doing today, my friend? Pen and Pit Blades is in here as well, and then Varen's in here, or yeah, Varen. There was a lot of time when I was separated from all electronics for a month. After a week, I was able to write 30 full pages story concept, and I filled a small sketchbook. It was about in that time. That's good. That's, you know what, that might be your ticket. That might be your ticket, man. If it works out well for you, that might be your ticket. Doing well. How are you? Man, my wife gave birth to my brand new son, my first child, a week ago. And he's been moody, but he's been awesome. That little dude right there, he's got facial expressions all the time. Thank you so much. He's got facial expressions all the time. He's just he. All right. So funny story. When we were in the hospital, they hold the baby for a little bit so they can do tests on them. They can see if, make sure the baby's pretty much okay, right? And the pediatrician come in and told us that he was the biggest newborn he'd seen, and that he was in the 98th percentile, which is like 98 he's bigger than 98 of all percent of all newborn babies. And the pediatrician like took his diaper off and was looking at his rump and everything like that to check him out, and I can't remember what all. He's a big old boy. He was 9 pounds 3 ounces, 22 and a quarter inches long. Out of brand new born. He was like he's like the baby little fella. He farted on the doctor when the doctor was checking him out and checking him and had his diaper off and he was looking at like his rump, and he just farted right in this doctor's face, and he just stood up and looked at him in the eyes, and he went, "You farted on me," because he had like this French accent to him, and he's like, "You farted on me," and you just seen his face. He grinned so, and I'm telling you, after every fart this little dude does, he will grin his face off. He will just, it is the funniest thing to me. Varen, I want to draw again, however, I wouldn't know what to draw at the moment. Plus, I have to go to bed. I have to be up at work at 3 a.m. and it's going to snow tonight. Life makes art hard. Oh, well, good, man. I mean, I'm glad you want to draw now, and keep in touch with me, man. This live stream probably won't last forever, you know what I mean? So keep in touch with me. Follow the channel. We'll try to follow you on Instagram, I think is where it was. But yeah, see your art and stuff, and we'll say hey. But good night, Varen, and I appreciate you talking with us and the jokes and everything. You've been awesome, dude, and I hope to see you again. In which we're almost done with this section of it, which is weird because this does not want to sit right, and I don't know why. But I think we're just about done with this, and then it's going to polishing sides. I'll be honest, I was randomly flipping through live streams to share Chuck Norris jokes. Glad I stopped by. I'm glad you stopped by too, Barry. Don't be a stranger with us now. I'm planning on making, I know I keep saying this, but I do plan on making a Discord. I just don't know how to do it, and I'm not tech literate very well. But I do plan on making one. So hopefully we can get people to share their stuff in the Discord and stuff. When Chuck Norris went to college, he told his father, "You're the man of the house now." You know what? Great one to end off on. Great one. You know what? Number one. That knocks the book off. Number one. That's a great one to leave off on. That is a wonderful one to leave off of. You know what? Mic drop moment. A mic drop moment for you. But yeah, man, we'll talk to y'all later. I hope you have a good one, man. I hope you have a good night. God bless you. Baron, if you ain't saved, I pray you do get saved, my friend. And I'm just going to check the rest of this stuff out just to see if we got everything. Yeah, he was pretty fun to talk to and talk with, wasn't he, Pam? It was nice actually being able to see you and Weld in there. I hope now that everything's kind of calming down for us, we're going to be able to live stream more often. be able to pull everybody in. I'll have to put up the Discord somehow whenever I get it made. Can you put Discord links in your videos? Do you know if you could or could not do that, Pam? I think people do that. But I just want a place where people can share their stuff. You know what I mean? Well, whatever it may be, and we can just build like a community around it. I think you can. Okay, well. Alright. So that makes me feel a little better that we can actually, you know, work it through that way. Because then I want to get as many people as I can in there. And we can just all share our stuff. The person who owns the channel can pretty much post whatever they want within reason. Okay. Okay, cool. What I've been looking at is I'm thinking I might do like a X account as well. Somebody said you need to create an alternate account to help keep your audience reacting with you or acting with you or whatever you call it, but I don't know. I was thinking like an X account because I thought everybody was on Twitter or X nowadays. I don't know. Like nothing illegal. I can believe that. Yeah, that makes sense. I think we did it. I think she's clear all the way around. I think she's clear all the way around. I heard the baby in the other room. He's hollering. I think we did it. So now the next step would be to polish. Let me check this real quick. No? Dang it. Nope. Let's see. I think I know what it is. One of these girdles is smaller than the other one. No, it's not. What is wrong with this? This is so strange. Alright, see you in a minute, Wilden Care. What is wrong with this? Am I the only one that's like... Well, probably am because I'm the only one that can see it, but still, it's freaking me out. A little bit. Because it's going smooth throughout, and then it just like veers off at the last second. I'm over here like, why? 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 don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. I'm not understanding it at all. It is frustrating me so badly. Because it should be lining up at least somewhat well. This is not doing it though. Yeah, like at all. I wonder if I stopped it at a bad angle. Maybe. So this is where it gets confusing and tough. This part I find to be the toughest part about faceting. Everything else seems to be pretty easy for me. But it's just this part right here. I don't know. We'll just work our way back. See if we can't get it to work. If we can't, we can't. $39.33. Yeah, 33. Boy, have mercy. 27. I don't know what's going on here. Feels like everything's just off. Like completely off. And again, people won't be able to see this with the naked eye. Like to them it'll just look fine, but I don't want to leave it like this. And since it's synthetic rough anyways, it's not going to hurt me to just go ahead and try to fix it. You know what I mean? It's not going to hurt to just get it as close as possible. I think we're there though. I think working backwards helped it. Yeah, I think working backwards helped it. Sorry if it's out of frame. I just gotta check it out. Where's that light? There's that light. And I'm just checking all the way around it. Yeah, it's even. It's even. Oh, I mean, I just had to work from back to front. Then it doesn't look even here. Or is that just my eyes playing tricks on me? That's another thing about this. Sometimes my eyes will absolutely play tricks on me. I don't got it. What am I missing? Looks fine. Looks alright. I'll just have to go with it. I'm gonna have to go with it. I think it's just my eyes. I think it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. And I'll probably have to pick this up later. Alright. So that is the 600 grit on part A of the crown of a standard round brilliant. Obviously, it's the hardest part for me. Usually if we were past part A and we were just going to BC and then table, I'd be able to do it a lot quicker. We'd probably get this all done in one stream if it was there, but it's not. And one of the reasons it's not is just because it just takes so long to do this one part. You know what I mean? It just takes that long. Part of me does feel like something's off, like a measurement's off or something like that. I wouldn't know off the top of my head. But this just doesn't look right to the eye. You know what I mean? Like at all, this doesn't look right to the eye. But it could be also because I got some epoxy on it when I was trying to get it glued into the dop. I had some epoxy on it and it could have offset it some. You know, with that, it could just look weird. You know what I mean? Let me look and see something real quick. We'll look right underneath this light here. Let's see if it's kind of even. Looks pretty even. This side's raised up a little bit. That's the issue. One side's raised up a little bit. Probably from drying. Yep. That's the issue, but I kind of subconsciously solved that already by just cutting to the meat, right, and not cutting to an exact angle. Yeah, we got one spot that dips a little bit. And then that spot raises. It dips again. Let me use my old handy dandy these things. Just to make sure. Everything is fitting. Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like it. I'm gonna hit that 93 again. Probably. Is it 93? Not 93. 87, I believe is what it is. Let's see. going to touch it. Right? I don't need to do a lot. Just touch. Something's off. Oh my God, something's off. But it's all flat though. Something's off, but this is all even. So what does that mean? Means I got to do some research and find out what's going on. Probably make a video on it. I'll need to write that down. Find out what's wrong with this, come up with a solution, make a video on it. Yep. Alright, so that's probably going to be the end of the live stream today, because now I got to do some research. But what I'll do is I will go ahead and end us out on a prayer. Okay? Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for everybody who stopped in today. If anybody's life is in turmoil or is in chaos right now, I ask and pray to you that you look after them and guide them. And if somebody in this audience is not saved tonight, or somebody who's been here and left is not saved tonight, we pray that they do get saved. That way they can find that eternal peace that comes with knowing that their eternal life is guaranteed through your blood, through your selfless sacrifice upon the cross, and through your miraculous resurrection. I want to thank you for my family and my friends. I want to also thank you for everybody who stopped in today. Thank you for the opportunity to even live stream. But most importantly, Heavenly Father, I want to say, let your will be done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it there at that. I appreciate everybody. And I'm going to tell you, just like my old preachers used to tell me, as much as I love you, God loves you more. We'll see you next week. Be safe. Take care. Bye-bye.